Light FM. Hungry eyes. Somebody must have said pizza or something. We're down to 60 degrees now. It's going to fall through the 50s today, down to a even freezing potential low tonight. That be cold. Advisory services offered through Second Half Financial Partners, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. The opinions voiced and information provided in this material are for general informational purposes only and are not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individual. To determine which investments are appropriate for you, please consult with a financial advisor. Second Half Financial Partners, LLC does not provide tax or legal advice. Please consult your tax or legal advisor regarding your particular situation. And it's time to check in and find out what's happening to your money on Wall Street with the help of Philip Statler from Statler Financial Services in downtown Sebring. Philip, both of us were having a lot of fun with our tech this morning, but I think we got our poop in a group ready to tell folks what happened, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, my laptop decided to, update in the middle of trying to boot this morning. So that threw me for a loop and a little behind the curve. So, but I think I've got enough stuff up that I've got the right numbers in the right places.
Mine was a little nicer this morning while I was writing the junk for the morning show. It waited until I was done writing it to say, I want to update. I said, well, okay, now you can. Sometimes they're considerate, but not always. Setting the table from yesterday, all the big mainline indexes were off. The Dow fell by 42. S&P was down by 37. NASDAQ lost a full percent, down 238. But if you want indication that it was the big banks and the high-tech nervousness, the Russell 2000 actually gained 0.7% yesterday. Sounds to me like the financial reports that we've had so far out of the big banks has not exactly impressed Wall Street very much, has it?
No, I don't think it has, and I think that we may have some more to talk about this morning.
Kind of saw that when my top line started coming over down the bunch, because between that and the fact that even the Oracle of Omaha, he may have retired, but Warren Buffett kind of threw some flies into the ointment yesterday. He was doing a 2-hour special on CNBC, and he said the risks posed by rapid AI development are reminiscent of nuclear weapons. Well, that ought to take the bloom off the rose, because even the adventurous people listen to Warren Buffett, even if he is retired, don't they?
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's still the the top voice when it comes to a lot of economic and stock news.
And he's generally always been the champion of the buy and hold real businesses strategy, which is in favor with a lot of investment advisors. And when he says watch out for AI, that's got to make at the very least some of the more adventurous investors on the nervy side. Got to mention the Verizon outage yesterday. They ended up closing up, even though they lost a little bit of ground on the overnight futures. I've never asked if your cell phone is on Verizon or not. Mine is, but I got cooped up in the office for the bulk of the day, and I use Wi-Fi calling as a backup. I didn't know it had happened until I left the office yesterday.
Yeah, no, I'm on AT&T, so we have our share of issues, but weren't affected yesterday.
Rumor had it out that it was a cyber attack. Verizon late last night said no, it was not, but I was kind of checking, just curious as to what happened to their stock yesterday, and they actually gained a few 0.1% yesterday, so evidently going down for a full day didn't kill their stocks at the very least. Other tidbits going on. Google has been flying high lately. Can't wait to hear what their report is later in earnings season, but good heavens, they're worth $4 trillion now. Right up there in the league with NVIDIA and Apple, aren't they?
Man, that's get up there, isn't it?
Yep, and they ended up, well, the biggest thing that really got them going was they managed to steal Apple's AI business away from Anthropic and OpenAI, which hurts nobody's feelings at Google one tiny little bit, because it gives them a leg up with their stuff. We're doing earnings season, and we mentioned and alluded to the fact that the big banks were not exactly setting the world on fire with the reports that we'd gotten so far. Oh, I almost forgot. The one bit of economic news that comes out today, first-time unemployment claims. I was shuffling through there. You got the number before I did. 198,000 first-time unemployment claims?
198,000 versus 215,000 expected. And that's lower than what it was last week at 207.
That ought to give us some good news anyway, that the employment market isn't getting any worse anyway, wouldn't you think?
I would think so. I got a couple other numbers for you, Dave. U.S.
Yeah.
import prices. Now, this is a combined number for October and November. They squished them together.
Hmm.
Um, and they were up 0.4%. The expectation was for them to be down 0.2%. So kind of a miss there.
Yeah.
And then the Empire State Manufacturing Survey up from a minus 3.9 in December to up 7.7 in January.
That is a major change.
Oh, and the Philly Fed manufacturing survey came out as well. December, it was down a minus 8.8, and it came in for January at 12.6.
What's
Looks like
happening
good
up in the
news, right?
Northeast? Yeah, I was going to say, what's happening up in the Northeast? It sounds like they're setting fire all of a sudden. Now on to the earnings piece. Goldman Sachs, they just dumped the credit card deal with Apple, and they're selling it to Morgan. Did that do any good for them this past quarter?
Morgan, I mean Goldman Sachs, they kind of had a mixed deal. They
Mm-hmm.
or I say mixed. They came in as expected on earnings at $14 and a penny a share. However, they missed on revenue. Now this report does say the numbers may not actually be comparable with what the analysts came up with. So, but it's still putting Goldman Sachs in the red this morning, down a little over 1.8%.
Good Lord. That's the second bank that said, yeah, we don't really trust these numbers compared to what the analysts are saying. What gives? Those guys are supposed to know what they're doing.
Yeah, I know. Morgan Stanley also reported
Mm-hmm.
they did beat on earnings per share um, by about 24 cents a share, came in at $2.68. Revenue was slightly above expectations. However, they are basically flat right now.
All right. Other indications we might have, or is it a pretty quiet start for the morning?
No, I'll tell you, the big winner of the day is probably going to be Taiwan Semiconductor.
Ah,
They had a record year. They saw or profits increase rather by 35% in the fourth quarter, all based on artificial intelligence chips. They're up almost 5.5%. And because of
good, good.
that,
Mm-hmm.
ASML Holdings, which is a chip manufacturer, as well, they and because Taiwan Semiconductor announced larger than expected capital spending plans, I'm
Mm-hmm.
guessing ASML must be a direct beneficiary of that because they're up almost 6.5% this morning.
Holy crap. Well, it's good to have some good high tech news for a change because yesterday, by and large, we were pretty conservative on it. Resetting the table for the morning, it was an off day for the top. Do you have something else? I'm sorry.
Nope, nope, that's good. I was just clearing my throat. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Resetting the table, it was an off day for the top line indexes yesterday. The small stocks actually were pretty good yesterday. 45 minutes before we open this morning, what are we looking at?
Mixed bag today, Dave. The Dow's actually down just a little bit, like $28. S&P 500 is up 0.5%. The Nasdaq 100 is up a little over 1.1%. The Russell 2000 is basically flat this morning as we get going. On the other side, of the commodity side, we got silver retracing a little bit, down 3.3%. Still relatively high though at $88.34 an ounce. Gold kind of the same way. It's down about 0.9%. Crude oil, Dave, making a huge dip this morning, down 4.3% to $59.33 a barrel.
I got to believe that's related to President Trump's announcement that Iran isn't killing anybody, so he's not planning on bombing anytime soon. But boy, that's going to be volatile until we get things settled down over in Iran, isn't it?
I think so. It will be.
As I expect so. Overseas markets, the Asian Rim was almost uniformly down over the overnight hours. At the 6 a.m. close, the two mainland Chinese indexes, one was up, but the other one was off by a third. On balance, that one that was up was the only index in the Asian Rim that was in green ink this morning. The European community, not quite the same story. They're almost uniformly up this morning. The average European index up by about 0.5% halfway through the European trading day. which all puts together into a ball and says if you're looking at these daily numbers and making retirement plan changes, you've probably got too dang much risk in your portfolio. How do I find you to get the risk out of my retirement plan, sir?
It's the first of the year. It's a great time to take the opportunity to make sure that you're on the right path to that retirement you always dreamed of. So give us a call at 863-382-0037. Schedule your 30-minute phone consultation. We'll see if you're on the right path. If not, we'll maybe help you tweak things a little bit. Again, 863-382-0037. And then join us this weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday morning on Highlands News Talk, 7:30 a.m., 95.3 FM. And you can check us out at statlerfinancial.com, and there's a link right there where you can watch old shows.
Got you covered, and I do appreciate it, sir. We'll see you tomorrow. Fair enough?
Fair enough, but have a great day.
Thank you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services. Philip Statler.
Hey, folks, again, I want to thank you for joining us today. Have a great day. I look forward to speaking to you next week. Bye now.